next up on the list, we have a very awesome conversation. Once again, one of our LassoCon MVPs, Kevin's going to be coming back to the stage and conducting an interview with Nicky Austin, who does hair and makeup for Ted Lasso. So I believe we have an intro video. Let's go ahead and roll it.
Scholar Bikini, aka Isaac, aka Captain Mac, representing the Speak Up Not Man Up movement. Just want to say, don't ever stop believing. Have a great event, and I love you guys.
Yes, I can. How are you doing? Good evening.
Great. Yeah, good. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. So, for those who don't know, Nicky is the head of hair and makeup on Ted Lasso. Can you tell us about what you do, Nicky, and who you work with?
Yeah, I'm the head of hair and makeup on Ted Lasso. I did 1 and 2, and I'm starting 3 next year. I'm also Jason's personal, so I look after him specifically. Although I oversee all of them, and I look after him and Juno Temple, who plays Keely.
Yeah. So I think like for some of the magazines and interviews you did over the summer, so you helped with that as well, right? When you say you're Jason's personal.
Oh, not this summer, no, because I'm his European personal. So if he's here, like when he's here filming, I do all his shoots. Like he had a GQ shoot I did, and like Entertainment Weekly and stuff like that. But the Emmys and things like that, he has a personal in LA that does him for that.
Oh,
and
no,
with
yeah.
COVID and everything, I could not get there anyway.
Oh yeah, like I was actually talking about what you mentioned, the GQ and Entertainment Weekly. You did those, right?
Yeah, I did those. Yeah,
that's very
cool. We did those in London. Yeah.
So of course, no season 2 discussion is complete without Nate, unfortunately. And Nate's descent into the dark side was, of course, one of the big storylines of season 2. His hair change, of course, was a big talking point. Nick Mohammed has been very gracious in giving credit to Jason for the idea, and of course to yourself for the transformation. So just, guess first of all, what was your initial reaction to finding out about the bad Nate gray hair storyline?
So when did I find out? I don't know. Jason, I think we'd already started filming a little bit. So I was like, okay. And then Nick Mohammed is naturally a little bit grey anyway. He's a bit salt and pepper. So I always like dye his hair at the start of the season, so he looks like Nate, as Nate was in season 1. And then I was like, that's perfect, because then we can have more of a change if we go black and then gradually transform him. So it was a whole thing where he was the first shot of season 2. We saw his eyes, the light was still on in his eyes, and then right at the end of episode 12, the light's gone out. So then we wanted to also convey his stress, and when people are really stressed, they can literally go grey overnight. And obviously the period of time was almost a year. So every kind of episode, 2 episodes, we went black, then we added a little bit more grey and a little bit more grey, and then he's really grey by kind of at 10, the funeral, and then 12, and then you've got that short transition when we see him at the end of episode 12. I'm assuming everyone's watched it, so I'm not giving anything away.
No.
Where he is.
Spoilers are all good here. All good here.
Everyone's watched it like 3 times.
Exactly.
And then the shock that final, because the light's gone from his eyes and the color's gone from his hair from stress, basically. And yeah, it was Jason's. I mean, it was myself and one of my team members brought it to life, but Jason came to with it and he was like, show me some images. What do you think we could do with it? I showed him, and then we had a whole. Yeah, Nick was really up for it, so that was great.
So at the very end in the finale, is that still his hair, or is that a wig at that point?
Oh, I don't know what I should say.
If you're not allowed to say, then of course.
Well, I don't know if Nick's actually told anyone, but yeah, I did get a wig made for him purely because, first of all, I had an inkling that he might be going to do press, and I also had it in my head that there might be an Emmy situation going on, and I thought if I literally make him white, that's mean. Yeah, so Nick was up for it, and he did say, if that's what you need to do, go ahead and do it. But I just thought for his personal life, that is a huge ask. So yeah, I did wig him. Not to say that we might not do it for season 3, but he has a bespoke wig that I had made for the end of season 2.
Right.
For one shot.
So it was just literally that final shot where he had the wig then. Everything else was
Literally, that
real.
final shot. I literally had a wig made for a couple of takes. Yeah, that was it.
Definitely worked. So, in a similar vein, were there any other instances of you making a character's hair and makeup reflect their journey? Because I think in one of the Facebook groups, someone said that Rebecca, like, she started to look younger as season one went along. I don't know how accurate that is. Perhaps you might know.
Yeah, I mean, so Hannah is. So when we first see Rebecca, she's obviously putting her war paint on because she's going through a divorce. She's been jilted for a younger lady, and she is polished and trying to look perfect at all times. We see her break down sometimes when she's at home. We see her more vulnerable side. That's when we tend to let her hair down. We tend to take the makeup off. But then season 2, she's a much funner Rebecca. So she's on the dating scene. She's doing the app. She's trying to get herself some action. So we did kind of like discuss about, I feel like season 2, we upped it a little bit. So we definitely, did more with the hair, like the date night. She had like the brushed out Marilyn look, we call it. And I feel like we kind of pushed it a little bit for season 2 because she's on the dating scene. But then Hannah's really up for like when she's at home and she's chilling. She's like when she's in bed with her mum, for example, she's like, put minimal makeup, put my hair in a bun, don't do anything to me. But when she's in the office and she's trying to be her dinosaur self, did we keep that line in? I think we did. When she's trying to look tall, and she does her thing, she has to look, perfect, businesswoman like at all times.
So for a quick mid-chat recap, one thing I've learned so far is everyone's game for whatever Nicky plans out, and you definitely do plan out a lot. So cheers for that.
Yeah, I'm reading some of these comments actually, which is nice.
Okay, you can keep track of the chat for us because I'm keeping track of time. So
okay, if you've got any questions, you can go for it. You love.
So I was gonna say, in Hannah's interview with the Times magazine, she confirmed that there's a no arsehole policy on set, and the cast video for your son's birthday was an excellent example of how y'all treat each other with kindness. So we're just gonna play that real quickly because it's such an amazing video.
Oh, the one Brett did for my son?
Yes.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. That's what families do. I'm reading these chats.
All right, here we go.
We love you, Alfie. We do.
We love you, Alfie. We do.
We love you, Alfie. We do.
Oh, Alfie, we love you.
We love you, Alfie. We do.
We love you, Alfie. We do. We love you, Alfie. We do.
Oh, Alfie, we love you.
Cha-cha-cha.
Boy, Alfie, you fucking smashed it.
Yeah, that was lovely. He actually did that for me the week before the Emmys. Like, he's just too amazing, that man. He was so busy. He was flying out to LA to go and, we didn't know at the time he was going to win an Emmy. And he literally did that for me 5 days before.
So is that something you asked him or he just did it on his own?
You know what? I texted him and I was like, I said, I need some help with this because I had this big function going on. And I was like, Alfie just loves the show so much. Can you do a video for me? And I just asked Brett because he just loved Roy. He thinks he's hilarious because teenage boys love swearing. And he was like, do you know what? I'm going to do something for him. I'm going to do something special for him. And literally sent me that the next day or 2 days later. He just is the nicest, he's just the most lovely guy. They all are, to be fair. I literally texted them all and said thank you to them all because nobody has to do that. But it's sickening. We are family.
So what was your son's reaction to it? I assume he loved it.
Oh, loved it. Yeah, absolutely. He loves Jamie and Roy are like his favorite. He's actually been to set. My son came, not last year because of COVID, but he came to set on season 1 and he was in the locker room with all the boys, but it hadn't been released yet. So he didn't really realize what he was seeing. And then when it came to season 2, he was like, I want to go back. And because of COVID, he couldn't. So maybe for season 3, he can go and see everyone.
Hopefully. Fingers crossed for him.
Yeah.
So like they often say, kids never think their parents are cool, but I'm sure Alfie thought his mom was pretty cool after that video.
Yeah, Alfie loves my job. My little one's 5, so she doesn't really get it. But they're both Alfie wants to go into the industry anyway. He loves production design. He loves looking at the set. just walking around. He just likes being on a makeup truck. When Jason's there, he just wants to sit there and chat. You know, he loves Marvel, and Jason has all these friends who are like, you know, in Marvel movies. He just loves talking to him and picking his brain.
Yeah, that's amazing. I guess the only problem for you is how are you going to top that present for next year? You probably got to get Jason in the video, right?
I know. Well, I don't know if I'm sure he would have done it if Brett had asked him. He maybe thought he was busy. I'm just reading all these comments. No, that kind of behaviour is not normal for the cast of a show. They are particularly special, I have to say, the cast of Ted.
So are there any other heartwarming stories from the cast or the crew that you can share with us?
They're all just gorgeous. I mean, it was Phil, who plays Jamie's birthday the night of the SAG Awards. And obviously everyone was excited. Everyone was nominated. The whole cast were nominated for an ensemble award, but that didn't stop them like celebrating Phil's birthday. Everyone kind of forgot it was even happening. Everyone was just so excited for Phil's birthday. And Hannah, in her beautiful voice, sung him, you know, happy birthday in the corridor. Right? It's just that, you know, it's so corny because people go, really? And I'm like, yeah, it is. I can't wait to see everyone. I'm going to just crush all the Americans that I haven't seen for 6 months. Oh my God, Juno's ribs are going to snap. I'm telling you, I'm literally like bear hug that girl. I cannot wait to see her. Yeah, because we have the time difference as well, which is a bit rubbish.
Yeah, it is. Like even working on this on LassoCon, like I'm working with people in like California 3 hours behind, and then of course yourself 5 hours ahead, and just like crazy, right?
Yeah, I'm getting questions. I don't know how much time I've got if I can answer them. How much what set did you work on before Ted Lasso? I feel like I've just been on Ted Lasso forever. It feels like it's just gone on and on. I can't remember my life before it. How long have you been in the industry? 13 years. Aside from Nate, who has undergone the greatest transformation in terms of looks during the show? Probably Phil, Jamie. He changes every season. He changes. I change him usually twice in every season. His hair, because he started off based on Ronaldo in season 1.
Yeah, the Grealish this year.
And then we based on
what's coming up for season 3? Do you know yet? Or can you tell us?
We've chatted. We have had a little chat. It's really tricky because you can't. There's so many of them, and you have to kind of make them look all a bit differently. Because when they're running on the pitch, you don't want them to look the same because then you can mistake. And we haven't just got all our principal footballers. We've got our background, our supporting footballers as well. It's just really tricky. It's really tricky to make sure that none of them have kind of the same hairstyle and can get mistaken for each other. Although you can generally tell which one is Jamie Tart.
So in your interview with Fashionista.com, you mentioned that Keely's goldfish clip was something that you included. Are there any other Easter eggs that we might not know about?
There was a clip I put on Hannah, and we didn't see the back of her head. It was a bit annoying, but I got her like this beautiful pearlescent in Richmond colours, this clip that we didn't get to see.
Which episode was that? Are you saying it got cut?
No, it didn't get cut. It was on the back of her head, a football match, but she was in the stands. I couldn't tell you which episode it was. So we did 12. I mean, Hannah, Juno alone last season had 32 different looks.
32?
32. And when I say it's
I'm assuming by far she has the most looks out of everyone, right?
Yeah, Keely has the most looks. Different hair, different makeup, and it's not just the makeup. It's like different eyeshadow, different liner, different lash, like everything. Nails. We changed everything. Me and Juno are like really into her look and making sure, because people follow it, and we want to make sure we give people, you know, different things. You may have heard of some of the other shows, Nicky. Oh yeah, done a bit of that.
So speaking of Juno, I think I saw on your Instagram you did like a behind the scenes of her famous line photo shoot in season 1.
Yeah.
And so would you say that was probably like the hardest assignment you've had on the show, or was there something even harder than that?
It was a big assignment. She had, because we wanted to make her look like a lion, I think she had 3 whole packets of hair in her head. Juno is a huge fan of extensions, and she will tell everyone it's not her hair. She has quite a lot of hair naturally, but we add quite a lot to it. So she had about 3 packets of hair extensions. She had obviously quite a lot of makeup on, and she had these long black nails, which stopped her being able to eat the burger. That was the idea. I made her look more like a lion.
Yeah,
that was a big one. And is that the biggest? Yeah, probably. I mean, the Nate hair thing is probably, that was a long. That took a long time. You know, he was in the chair for an hour in the morning trying to get that hair color right. That took a lot. And then Brett had a big transformation last season as well.
At the beginning of the season too, because I believe
Mm.
Jason told you to make sure to tell Brett to grow everything out, so we get unkempt Ken, right?
Well, they talk a lot. They're in the writers' room together. But when we had our first, so Brett already knew. He was just being kind and humouring me. He already knew, obviously, because he's a writer. But yeah, he grew it quite a lot, and I was like, oh, we could go even bigger. And Brett was like, really? I looked like a homeless person. I was like, okay, fine, we'll keep it like that. But then we kind of picked it out a little bit to make it look a bit bushier as well. And then it just made him look even more handsome when he had his Sky Pundit makeover, didn't it? It was like, okay, that was a really good idea. Jason again.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Thanks for the segue, because that was actually my next question. He has a great line there when the stylist is about to touch his lashes and asks him what he normally does with them. He's like, "I'll leave them the fuck alone." Do you?
I do leave them the fuck alone. Yeah, I don't touch Brett's lashes.
What about the eyebrows? Do you
No,
do anything
you
to
know
make them
what?
crazy or psychotic, like Beard says?
No, actually, Brett doesn't have a monobrow at all. They are perfectly two separated eyebrows. There's just a lot. There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
We do have to cut his hair very regularly because his hair grows at a rapid rate.
Yeah.
But he's such a joy to have in the chair, and he's such a beautiful man. Anyway, we don't really have to do much to him. We keep his beard at a nice level, and you know, they all the coaches and the team are out in London filming in January, February, March. They'll get a little bit red, but other than that, most of them are pretty, you know, don't have much on. They're pretty handsome peeps.
So Nikki, I wish we could talk to you forever, but we're actually getting short on time. So we got a couple of fun questions to end with. So we talked about Keely with the lie-in. I put a poll in the chat, and it was, if you, Nikki, had to add one tattoo for one of the cast, here are the options: a lion for Keely, a goldfish for Sam, a shark for Jamie, or a cat for Higgins. Which one would you add?
Higgins would not have a tattoo. I love him to bits, but Cindy Crawford is not about to appear on his skin.
So
do you know?
That was actually my answer, because like every time he talks about her, his entire like mood changes. Like he loved that cat so much. Like remember in the, I think it's the Christmas episode, like he's like, oh, what if we were like the pets and I'd be like sleeping at her feet or whatever. He loves Cindy Crawford so much.
I know.
Sorry, what's your answer?
No, he's a no. I think,
Okay.
you know what, you've just given me a bit of inspo for Jamie Tartt's addition to his tattoo.
Yeah,
that's not a bad shout. You might see that in season 3, because I need.
I hope I get a writer's credit. I hope I get a writer's credit.
I need to add to that sleeve. That's not a bad shout. I might run that by Phil and see how he feels about it. We added a snake last year.
Yeah, well, you can replace the snake and put it on Nate instead, because that's what everyone calls him now. Nate the snake.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? That I don't know how that happened, because I added the snake, not even thinking about it, and suddenly it's Nate the snake. But no, shark might be a good shout. Yeah,
because the intro video that we missed, but one of your pictures is a picture of you drawing the sleeve on him, and that's what actually gave me inspiration for that question.
Yeah.
All right, so Nikki, last question. I'm gonna go back to the screen share for a sec. Oh my goodness.
Someone asked you about Jason's moustache. He grows it himself. I just color it in a little bit, but it's all him. And we cut it a lot. We just trim it. Otherwise, he'd get handlebars.
All right. So the last question. You shared this hilarious picture in your stories the other day, so that gave me the question: what are some other crazy things you've hidden behind on set? Like here, you're behind a couch. What else have you hidden behind?
Oh God, I have to hide behind things all the time. There's no space. In Keely Jones's house, they have that amazing bath where they had that scene with all the petals and everything. And in that house, it's actually kind of like the bathroom doesn't have a door. It's kind of like a partition wall. And I've got this habit, me and Juno have got this joke where I'll like stand behind the makeup chair, and it's really silly in the mornings because we need to laugh because it's so stupidly early. And I'll go, I'm just going to make a cup of tea. So I'll go like this. Like, and I do it like, and like I disappear. And I just kept that day, although they really needed to not laugh in that scene, I just kept going, I'm just going to make a cup of tea behind the wall like that. They don't care. You've got to laugh. It's such a long day and it's so tiring. We have to laugh. And me and Gino.
Yeah, because you work like 12, 14-hour days or something crazy.
More, way more.
Even more? Wow.
Yeah.
Is that legal?
Yeah. No, it's worse in the States actually. We work less than you guys. You guys are like getting on for 17 hours some days. Wow. We're more like I mean, with the driving and everything. Anyway, it's worth it when you get to work on a show like Ted. It's all worth it. And thank you so much, everyone, for loving it. It makes it so worthwhile. We all really appreciate it.
Speaking of thanks, unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today. I wish I could talk with you more because it's been really fun. So everyone, remember, if we see Jamie Tart with a shark tattoo, you know where it came from, right?
Yeah.
So Nikki, as Ted would say, we appreciate you. Happy holidays and the best of luck with season 3. We cannot wait. Thank you very much.
See you again.
All right, we're gonna play the intro video that we're supposed to, so you can stick around for like 15 seconds. Here we go.
Okay.
Yeah.